My Best Friend and I Part 2. After I sprinted out of his house, I had gone home and thought about what had happened. There was no denying the fact that we had chemistry, but this was also confusing for me as well. I did not know if it was just teenage hormones or if there was actually something there. I needed to figure out what was going on with him. There was a lot at stake, most of all our friendship. I did not want him to end up hating me if things did not work out well. Everyone knows that once you date your friend, things can never be the same ever again. It was going to be a very tricky situation, but there was no denying the fire that I felt when I was with him. It was intense, electrifying, and so addictive. Was it just a new infatuation? I had no idea, but I knew that I needed to figure it out. That night, I did not even sleep. All I could think about was what had happened between me and Connor. I only slept in the early hours of the morning, and that was due to exhaustion. Unfortunately for me, my alarm decided to wake me up a few minutes after I had slept. I groaned and got out of bed. I was going to need a strong coffee, black with no sugar. I went to the bathroom and had a shower. After that, I brushed my teeth, then hopped into the shower. The water washed over me, the tiny droplets feeling like bullets on my skin. I was hyper aware of everything. He had made me aware of everything. I dried up and went to my closet to look for some clothes to wear. I chose a band t-shirt and simple jeans. I checked to make sure that I looked presentable, then sprayed some deodorant on. My under eyes could have been a bit brighter, but I had to work with what I had. I walked downstairs and saw my mom and dad sitting at the table. I took a seat and greeted them. "We barely saw you yesterday. Are you okay?" my mom asked, concern on her face. "Nah, I am okay. I was just a little bit busy," I said. "Okay, just making sure. With the new COVID variant, you can never be too sure," my dad said. He was a jolly man who was the kindest person I knew. I had lucked out in the parents' department. They were very understanding and they let me be my own person. I was luckier than some of my peers. I finished up my food and made my way out. I got in my car and drove to Connor's house. Ever since I got my license, I have been driving him everywhere. When I got there, I saw him waiting for me. When I saw him, my heart beat faster. I was suddenly so aware of so many things that I had completely ignored about him, like how one side of his lips was slightly higher than the other, making him look like he was smirking sometimes. I had never noticed that. I noticed the way he moved from foot to foot when I approached him, but quickly stopped when his eyes caught mine. I did not miss the way his copper eyes darkened when they landed on me. I felt naked under his gaze, not to say that I minded, because I did not mind at all. I was starting to feel really hot and I opened the window as he got in. "Hey," he said. "Hi you," I said, looking at him. His cheeks were looking flushed for some strange reason. "You did not respond to my texts," he said. "I was busy," I said. Liar. I was lying through my teeth. His gaze undressed my soul, discerning the very lie I had told him. I looked away before he could unravel the contents of my soul right then. I was scared of what he would find. "Okay," he said. I forced a smile and proceeded to drive. We did not talk for the rest of the drive, but I felt him looking at me during the drive. When we pulled up, I was so relieved. I thought that I was about to be engulfed in flames from the way his gaze was burning through me. I parked my car and got out. He said goodbye and went on his way. I, on the other hand, needed to use the bathroom. I quickly stopped at my locker, then made my way to the bathroom. I splashed my face with cold water, hoping that it would stop the hot flashes. I did not see him for the whole day because we only had one class together, which was English. I took my seat and waited for him to walk in. Things were so awkward between us and I figured that we needed to clear the air between us. When the warning bell rang, he walked in and sat down beside me. The teacher was droning on about a book that I had read a few times before, so I was bored out of my mind. I looked at him and he mock-gagged. We had our secret language so we could understand each other with just a few gestures. I decided to send him a note. Me: "Hey, wanna talk about Saturday night later on?" Connor: "Sure, my place or your place?" Me: "My place. Mom is going to visit a friend and dad will be at work." Connor: "Okay, we'll be there after school." I smiled when I saw his reply. I was glad that we would finally have a way to figure this whole thing out, even if it was just through talking. We were going to figure this one out together. A few hours later, I was chilling in my room and watching a series when there was a knock on the door. I went to the window to check who it was and saw that it was him. I knew the top of his head very well. I ran downstairs and opened the door for him. He had changed into a pair of shorts and a yellow shirt that was not buttoned all the way up. I could see his chest a bit. For a split second, I was mesmerized. I shook my head and told him to get in. He looked at me with a strange expression on his face, but he did not say anything. We can talk in the living room, is that okay? I asked. Sure, no problem, he smiled. We sat on the couch, close to each other. I was surprised that he could not hear my heart pounding in my chest. I felt so nervous with him beside me. My nerves were killing me. He was killing me, and I was happy to let him. So, he started. So, I said. I could not help but smile. He smiled as well and we burst out laughing. Trust us to find humor in this situation. But I was glad that we were laughing. That did help to ease the tension in the room. We kissed, he said. I seem to remember doing a little bit more. I smirked. He chuckled. Gosh, it was so musical. Yes, we had a bit of fun. But how come you kissed me? Are you not straight? He asked. That is what I thought. I do not know why, but I was drawn to you. But I do not know what my true sexuality is, I said. Okay, that is understandable. Do you regret what happened between us? Is that why you ran away yesterday morning? He asked. His expression changed to one of sadness. I could not bear that I was the reason for that. I understood that there was a bit of confusion that was going on in his mind. I had not been responding to his texts as of late and I had also left without an explanation. That was shitty of me to do. I had panicked. Yeah, sorry about how I acted. I had a lot in my mind and I needed to think about things a bit, I said. And, have you figured it out? He asked. I think so. I believe that I am bisexual, I said. I mean, I liked kissing you, but I also like girls as well. I think that I am bi, I continued. That makes a bit of sense, he said. And no, I did not regret what we did. I would love to do it again. Just be patient with me please, I said. Of course, I will make sure that you are comfortable. I understand that this is confusing for you. We can take this slow, he said. Thank you, I said, kissing him on the cheek. He turned to look at me, smoky eyes with so much fire. I felt my heart race and my blood rush through my body. He never failed to excite me with just a look. He would be the death of me. We leaned into each other and shared a passionate kiss. Gosh, you make me feel so good, I said breathlessly. So then, every day after school, he would come over to my place. We would do simple things like talk, ravage each other, watch movies, etc. I found that I enjoyed his company even more than before. I was starting to care about him as more than a friend. A simple good morning text from him was enough to make my day. I liked him as more than a friend. But the question was, did he feel the same? Or was it just a physical thing for him? I decided that I was going to ask him to be my boyfriend. I asked him out on a date on a Friday night. We watched his favorite movie, which was The Crow, since it was playing a lot in the days leading up to Halloween. I held his hand as we watched it, not because I was scared but because his hands were so soft and I liked them. We also sat at the back so that we could make out when no one was watching. We had not told anyone about us, so we had gone to a cinema in the neighboring town. I hoped that once I got him to be my boyfriend, then I could come out as bi to my family. I was a bit worried about how they were going to react. I hoped that they would accept me for who I was, but who could be so sure? People had a way of surprising us. After the movie, we decided to go and have some pizza. We were both food lovers, so we had to eat every 5 minutes. I planned to ask him out then. I hoped that he would say yes. We ordered pizza and sipped milkshakes while we waited for our food. We made small talk, talking about anything and everything. It is very easy for us to talk to each other. We practically bounce off each other. So, I have been meaning to ask you something, I said. Sure, what is on your mind? He asked. Will you be my boyfriend? I ripped it off like a band-aid. I looked into his eyes even though I was dying to look away. He stopped sipping his milkshake and his expression became serious. As he was about to speak, our food came. Yes, he said as the food was placed on our table. My heart leaped with joy. I had a boyfriend. This was the most exciting thing ever. I leaped up and punched the air. Several people turned to look at us, but I just smiled sheepishly. I gave him a very passionate kiss and we continued eating our food. I was so excited. Now I had to deal with telling my parents. So next days, we held hands for the first time at school. I was very nervous because so far, no one knows about our relationship besides our parents. My parents are still coming to terms with it. They accepted it, but they were not exactly over the moon. His parents already knew that he was gay, so they were not surprised when we told them about our relationship. Anyways, it actually went better than I expected. When anyone asked us, we did not deny our relationship. We proudly told them that we are dating. Of course, the whole school was buzzing with the news of our relationship. That is how they can be sometimes. Gossip really does fuel teens. He is the sweetest person ever. He left me a cute note in my locker along with a bar of chocolate. And I nearly melted right then and there. He does so much for me and I appreciate him so much. His birthday is coming up and I wonder what I should get him since we are now a couple. So on his birthday, we spent the whole day together. I got him cologne and a teddy bear. I know how much he loves cuddles, so there was no question there. We went out for some waffles and we got a plate to share. It was so cute. When I kissed him, he tasted of syrup. How adorable is he? His mom and I have been secretly organizing his birthday for the past few weeks. He nearly cried when he saw what we had done for him. He deserves it. You could never believe what my parents got him. 2 tickets to a spa resort. I guess they are coming around. I am so glad that they are learning more and becoming more supportive towards us. That means the world to me. We finished off our night with a sleepover, where we cuddled the whole night. I think I am falling for him. I hope that he is falling for me too. So Connor and I went to the spa yesterday and we had a couples massage. It felt so sophisticated and grown up. It felt nice to relax and unwind after the exams we had the past week. They took every last bit of my energy. To be honest, it was nice to spend the day with him. After the spa, we went back to his house for a sleepover. His parents were out of town once again, so we had the whole place to ourselves. I helped him to prepare dinner. He has been teaching me to cook and I am slowly getting better. Once we were done cooking, we set the table and began to eat. The food was delicious as always, simply melting on my tongue. "This is great, babe," I said. He smiled and leaned over to give me a peck. We continued eating and eventually finished. Then he told me that he had something to tell me. I became very nervous as I tried to figure out what it could be. He said the following words: "The past few months have been amazing with you. You have been very supportive, fun to be around, and my escape from this crazy world. I do not think that I can live without you. What I am trying to say is that I love you." I nearly wept with joy when he said those words. All my dreams had come true. He loved me. I told him that I loved him too. I am truly in love. There is no denying it. Who knows what might happen tomorrow? I do not care. All I can think about is that what we have here is real. I love him more than I can even say. I am looking forward to seeing what the future holds for us. I have a feeling that it is something good. The end. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become a part of our Rainbow Force and stay wholesome.